Hi kids, I'm going to read to you today one of my favorite books, Katie and the Sunflowers by James Mayhew. Grandma was helping Katie plant some seeds in the garden when it started to rain. Never mind, said Grandma. The rain will make everything grow. But what shall we do now, said Katie. Let's go to the gallery, said Grandma. You will always have fun there. When they arrived, Grandma sat down to rest, so Katie went off by herself to look around. The gallery was full of warm, sunny paintings. Katie liked a painting called Sunflowers by Vincent van Gogh. The sunflowers looked dry and crunchy and were full of seeds. Perhaps I could grow the seeds in my garden, said Katie. She slowly reached out and found she could touch them. But Katie knocked the vase. It wobbled and fell right out of the picture, spilling sunflowers and seeds all over the floor. Oh no, said Katie. I'd better clear this up before anyone sees. Just then, Katie heard someone laughing. She looked around, but there was no one else in the room. The laughter was coming from a painting called Britain Girls Dancing by Paul Gauguin. What's so funny? Said Katie, climbing inside the painting. Katie saw that she was beside a farm. The girls, who were called Macy, Musette, and Mimi, giggled and pointed to the mess in the gallery. You'll be in trouble if anyone finds out, Mimi said. Well, I didn't mean to knock over the vase, said Katie. I don't suppose you can help me clear it all up. We're too tired, said Macy. We've been dancing all day, said Musette. What about you, said Katie to Mimi. Only if I can bring Zazu, said Mimi, picking up her dog. I suppose it's all right, said Katie. Let's go. So they went through the frame and into the gallery. Mimi and Katie gathered up the sunflowers, but Zazu wanted to play. He snatched the sunflowers away in his mouth and ran off with them. How can we put the picture back together now? Said Katie crossly. I'm sorry, mon ami, said Mimi. Let's try to catch him. They chased Zazu, but he was too quick for them. He suddenly took a flying leap towards a painting called Cafe Terrace at Night by Vincent van Gogh and disappeared inside. Katie and Mimi jumped in after him. Zazu refused to let go of the sunflowers. He darted in and out of the tables and chairs, knocking plates and cups flying. Then Zazu ran between the waiter's legs. Zootalours, said the waiter, dropping a plate of iced cakes. He was very angry. He chased Mimi, Katie, and Zazu right through the frame and back into the gallery. What are we going to do? Panted Mimi. I've got an idea, said Katie, pointing to a painting by Paul Cézanne. It was called Still Life with Apples and Oranges. Come on, I need your help. Katie put her hand into the painting and grabbed one end of the cloth. She told Mimi to hold the other end. Now pull, yelled Katie. The bowls of fruit tipped up and the apples and oranges came tumbling into the gallery, just as the waiter caught up with them. He slipped on the fruit and spun around till he was dizzy. Zootalours, he yelled. I wonder where Zazu went, said Mimi. He must be here somewhere, said Katie, as they dashed away. Hélas, said Mimi, I shall never find him, and he'll be lost in the gallery forever. Nonsense, said Katie. I can hear a dog barking. They followed the noise, and there at the end of the corridor was Zazu. He had dropped the sunflowers and was barking at a bright red dog in a painting called Tahitian Pastorals by Paul Gauguin. The other dog barked back, and Zazu jumped inside the picture. Your dog is nothing but trouble, said Katie, as they clambered after him. Zazu and the red dog barked at one another, wagging their tails. Welcome to our island, said two beautiful women. It was very peaceful, full of scented lilies and blossoms, with the sea lapping on the beach. Phew, said Katie, it is very hot here. Let's go for a paddle. While Zazu and the red dog ran about on the sand, Katie and Mimi splashed around in the sea. Zazu was busy digging a hole when all of a sudden he disappeared. "Where has he gone?" said Mimi. Katie looked into the hole. It was very large. Right at the bottom, she saw Zazu sitting on top of a big chest. Mimi and Katie slowly opened the lid. It was full of gold coins. "Pirate treasure," said Katie, showing the women. "What will you do with it?" "We don't use money on our island. We have everything we need," they said. "You can have it if you want." Katie took a handful of coins and thanked the women. Then she, Mimi, and Zazu went through the frame and back into the gallery. Katie quickly picked up the sunflowers before Zazu could grab them again. "We'd better put this back," she said. "Which way is it?" "I'm not sure, mon ami," said Mimi. "I think we're lost." Then they saw Zazu sniffing at something on the ground. "Sunflower seeds," said Katie. "Zazu's left a trail of them. What a clever dog. I'm glad he came after all." Mimi gathered Zazu up in her arms and they followed the trail of sunflower seeds back to the Cézanne still life. They carefully put back and then went to the cafe picture by Van Gogh. The waiter was standing there with a piece of paper in his hand. "It's a bill," said Mimi, "for the cakes and everything." Katie dug into her pocket and took out the gold coins. "Is this enough?" she said to the waiter. "Merci," he said, looking very pleased. "You may eat cakes here whenever you want." And he climbed back into his picture. Then Katie and Mimi followed the seeds back to the sunflower picture. Katie collected a few seeds and wrapped them up in her hanky and put them in her coat pocket. Then she carefully put the sunflowers back. "Almost as good as new," said Katie. "Thanks for coming with me." "I'm glad I did, mon ami," said Mimi. "It was fun." And she hopped into her picture with Zazu. Katie ran off to find her grandma, who was just waking up. "Shall we see if it has stopped raining?" Grandma said. It hadn't, but Katie didn't mind. "Rain is good for the garden," she said. "It will make everything grow." And that's the end of this book, Katie and the Sunflowers, kids. I really hope you enjoyed this book as much as I enjoyed reading it. See you.
Let's study that!